Okay guys, this is the last video in our 15 tips on Facebook and how to get better results with your Facebook page based on the article that I read by Erica Melcher. Thank you very much, Erica, for this awesome article. I'm kind of taking the tips and I'm embellishing on them for some of the users that I have, and trying to simplify some of the discussion so that we can spread the content and spread the word. The next tip in our 15 tip series is tip number 13, which is post visually engaging and appealing content. Meaning that if you have photography, if you have infographics, if you have designs that you create to keep your page interesting, make sure that it's high quality, that the images are sharp, that they're color corrected to some degree so that they look good, maybe even punched up a little bit so they have a little bit more vibrancy. And if you're going to use infographics, make sure they're high quality designs and that they've been refined and they're not just slapped up there. People want to share content that's interesting looking and visually appealing images, as well as any messaging that might be part of the image. If you're going to tie messaging to the images, make sure that it's done tastefully and that it's definitely projecting the image and a brand message that you want to be part of. So post visually engaging content. Number 14 is support sharing outside of Facebook. This means sharing it on your website through badges, sharing buttons, like buttons, any type of other ways that you can get people to share outside of Facebook. People are going to be more inclined to trust the information if you offer these features on the website, and they're going to also actually take action and get your content pushed out further in front of more people. So people are much more inclined to trust information that's emailed or shared on a social network from a friend. So the average Facebook sharer has 250 friends or so, and 83% higher than average user rate. So if you get your friends that are part of your Facebook page to share the content, there's going to be more trust and higher value in that content. It's more likely to get shared and commented on. Number 15 on our last tip for our 15 tips on how to get better engagement on your Facebook page and better results is tie your shares to sales and ROI. What are the pros and cons? It's super simple. You don't even have to figure this out. Based on the article by Erica, it was kind of a comical little post here on this aspect. Facebook, the pro to this, the pros and the cons. The Facebook has over 800 million users. And what are the cons? Well, a con could be that Facebook has over 800 million users. So because Facebook has such a large community, I mean, it's really large, it's huge, 800 million plus. I mean, it's probably closer to 1 billion at this point. It's enormous. So it's daunting for some companies to look out there and look at that type of a pool and try to figure out how do we fit in and how do we reach the people we want. So in order to do that more effectively, what we recommend, as well as all the tips in this article will help you produce. The main point here is to be passionate with what you put out and about your campaign structure. So all the different 15 tips that we listed in these 5 videos, if you're passionate about implementing them and you care about all of them, your customer is going to see that, and it's going to be really transparent. It's going to give your brand more value and a higher trust factor. So make visitors get excited about your page so that they'll share it, they'll comment on it, and they'll come back to it. And once you've got that rule covered, how do you reach a larger audience? Well, how do you get your posts to show up? And how do you make sure that that your Facebook ranks with the other brands that you're competing with? You need to know, and you need to be sure about this and strive to achieve these 3 metrics. And the 3 metrics that we strive to achieve are looking at the affinity of who we're targeting and making sure that their interests and the affinity for where they're going to be on Facebook, that we can tie that into who we're targeting. The weight of the content and who you're targeting is a key factor as well. That's a big metric. You want to make sure that the weight of the content that you're posting is high quality and that it's getting shared and it's actually high quality content. And then looking at the third metric, the time delay, meaning how quickly things trickle off. Once you post on Facebook, you'll realize if you do any advertising on Facebook that the quicker that you get shares and the quicker that you get comments, the more value that you have with that post and with that marketing, the marketing of that content. You'll find that the sooner that you get engagement, the sooner that you promote the post, and the sooner it gets shared, there's going to be a time period where it's going to be really valuable and you're going to get a lot of activity, and then it's going to trickle off very quickly. So don't be afraid to do some advertising on Facebook in order to see the results of what you can really get with growth campaigns and with getting your content seen by more people. You'll be able to target more people through advertising, and you'll be able to grow your audience more aggressively. So if your boss is saying, why isn't our social media page, our Facebook page getting much activity, and why isn't it growing? Look into doing some advertising to further target your audience. And if you need help with that, you can always reach out to us here at ZD Design, and we can help you take that to the next level. You're not buying an audience. You're directing them to your content in a different way. So use Facebook advertising as that tool to reach people who know you're already interested in what you have to offer. Thanks, and I hope you got something out of these 15 tips. I urge you to read the full article by Erica Melcher and take a look at some of the details in the article, some of the comments, and further grow your Facebook page more effectively. Thanks, and I'll be back again with our next series.